Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to my channel, Scale Model Kit Review. In this installment, I build the FanHome, build the legendary kit from this TV series, The Knight Rider. Now, I am on stages 3 through 6. Join me, will you? Welcome back. So I did receive 4 stages this month for the Knight Rider build, and they are stages 3 through 6. What's really cool about this build is I actually get to test out the scanner. We get all the parts and we build the scanner, and that's really cool there too. So, and there's a lot going on here. I apologize, the video is kind of long, but I have a lot of stuff to show you. And a little bit later, I'm going to show you how I modify the front, the wheels, the lug nuts and all that. That's going to come out in a whole separate video. So if you haven't done so already, head over to FanHome and check out this build. They have lots to offer. They have lots of gifts that you have. So check those out when you go over there. I put a link, a direct link, and a promo code down below. Click on that direct link. It helps me out and it helps FanHome out as far as they know that you watched my video. So with that, let's get started. Let's look and see what's in pack 2 of the Knight Rider build. And these are the 4 magazines I received, and these are stages 3 through 6. And here's stage 3 parts pack. That's the wheel and tire. Stage 4 parts pack, which is the dash, and that's pretty cool there. You have the steering wheel and all that. Stage 5 is the frame rail, one side of the frame rail. Remember, this car is a unibody, so you know, you get the frame rail addition, which helps support the engine and all the other accessories on the front of the car. And then lastly, stage 6, which is the subframe assembly and front suspension area. Look at the magazine here real quick. Fantastic articles here. Very short magazine. Very clear semi-gloss pages. Easy to read. Great articles about the series found here. A lot of research was done into this. So it's fantastic just to have this alone. And then we have the step-by-step instructions on what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be building the rim and tire. That's how that goes there. And once again, they talk about the turbo boost in the series and secret files. So let's get started. Let me get the parts out and I'll be right back. And here's the parts pack for stage 3 and wheel and tire. Looks great there. So I'll take these out. We'll get a closer look. Here's all the parts for pack 3. We received the tire. This is a Goodyear Eagle GT. Very nice. Nice tread pattern. Metal rim, and that's representative of the rim that comes on the kit. The other part of the rim. Hubcap for that, which is made of plastic. The rims are metal. We have the front spindle, that's made of metal, and all the brake parts here. Disc brakes, and they are all made of plastic. AM, BP, EM, FM, and we have a spacer here too. First, we assemble the wheel and tire. So I heated up the tire in some boiling water. Take out the foil here. And very pliable now. So we're going to put the wheel here on this side, and we're going to line it up. Line up the holes. That looks good there. Just makes it easier to get everything together. So having it loose like that, if you can see, I can squeeze it together a lot easier. Okay. EM screws go into this. 3 screws go into this. That's what that looks like there. Real easy to do if you soften the tire up first. Perfect. Now let's work on the brake assembly. Now we work on the brake assembly first, and these simply line up. However you want to line up the notches, you can see there's a notch there and there's a notch on the other one. So that's our clue, and there's a couple alignment tabs. So just like that, the notches are lined up. Pretty cool discs, very nicely detailed there. Next we take our brake caliper, and same thing, we're going to line this up to the caliper, a couple of notches there. BP screws go into this. Very nice. Not too tight because it is plastic, just snug. Looks great. Next, this slides in just like that. Okay, we'll line that up with the notch also. And this goes in from the other side. Just like that. Okay. There's a notch there that it goes up against, and it looks like we put the wheel and tire on next. There we got the notch to line up with the brake. So I'll just turn this over, show you that way. Okay. Turn it until it falls down in. There we go. Everything lined up there. Good. And next we put our little Teflon spacer into this, into there. Line that up a little bit here. There we go. We have a FM screw that goes into this. It is flanged. I'm going to put some Vaseline inside. Go ahead and put it in. And it should be good. Perfect. And it looks like the last thing we do is install the hubcap, and the hubcap goes down on that, and we put in AM screws into this. Put 5 of them in. I'm going to modify mine, and I will make a separate video to show you my modifications, but I will put some lug nuts in here, and I'm going to put a magnet on the back side to hold it in place. But anyway, I'll show you just real quick what this looks like with the screws in it. I'm going to put just a couple in. These are real small screws, and that one. And that just kind of shows you what they look like with the screws. I think it would just, for me personally, it would look better with lug nuts. So stay tuned for that, and I'll create another video to show you how I modify that. That completes stage 3, so let's go ahead and go to stage 4. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 4. And for stage 4, received all the parts for the dashboard and steering wheel and such. Looks great. And we start assembling some of the panels on there. Looks like we have some placards that go inside the panels. Quite a bit going on here. More dashboard panels going in because this is backlighted. And then we work on the steering wheel on the other side. And that's everything we have there. I'll be right back with the parts. And here's the dashboard parts. I'll go ahead and take these out and we'll get a closer look. Here's all the parts, and I'm going to go ahead and leave these in here, but the dashboard itself is made of plastic. It's beautiful work of art there, right? Not your standard dashboard that the Trans Am had. This is definitely K.I.T.'s dashboard. Here's where your TV screens go and all that. Very nice. I'll talk about these parts as I build this. So here's the steering wheel, steering shaft. That is made of metal. Very good there. 3 sets of screws, AP, BP, and GM screws. So let's go ahead and get started on this. I'll be right back. So we'll assemble the startup panel, and these two just simply snap together. You can see there's a cutout notch here and an area that goes into, and that just slides up against it, just like that. Goes together. Next we'll put our startup panel in, and the startup panel is going to go like that, I believe. Just like that. And then we'll bring the dashboard over. Here's our dashboard. We need to turn this over because this is going to go into that cutout right there. So we'll turn this over. I'll take and slide this in there just like that, and you want it so you can read it. That's our startup panel. Very cool, very nice actually. And then we'll slot that in just like that. BP screws go into this, 2 of them. Perfect. Bring the panel over. There it is. Very nice. Make sure it's snapped in place. That looks good. Let's go on to the next panel, which is your instrument panels and displays. So here's all our instrument panels. There's 4 of them that we're going to be installing the faces on. And we have 4F, 4E, 4D, and 4C. The panels that go in front of them this is 4L, 4K, 4J, and 4I. So these are just going to slot right in. These are very nice actually, if I show you here. So these panels are located on clear plastic so we can light them from the back. So they're very nice. That's how that looks. So that just slots in there. And speedometer here. Very nice. And the last one, which is our TV monitors. And snapped in real good there. Bring over our dashboard, and once again we'll turn this over. Right. And it's going to go right here on this side. So we need that to lay down flat right up against there. 1 screw is going to go into this. Once again, a BP screw goes into this. Till it's snug. And that's how that looks there. It looks great. Next, we're bring over this panel here, and this is panel 4B. It's an extension of the dashboard. So this will line up like that. There we go. Okay, so this will line up just like that. 3 BP screws go into this. Put one here, right there, and right there. Gonna go right here. And the last one right back here. There you go. And that's how that looks there. Very nice. The next panel is this one right here, and it's going to go down right in here. There's 2 spots that it lines up to, just like that. 2 BP screws go into that. That looks good there. Very nice. Next are our computer monitors, and that's going to go down in this slot right here. Line it up. 2 BP screws go into that. And that looks great there. If you look on the back side, you can see there's holes, so LED lights are going to go into this. It's going to be very nice. So now we're going to install the lower right panel, and with the lower right panel we have this clear red buttons here, and they're going to insert into the dashboard right here. So we're simply going to slot that in by hand, just like that. So you can kind of see it there. And then we'll put our panel on top of that. That's going to line up with an alignment pin. And on the back side. Just like that. Once again, a BP screw will go into that. And there we go. That looks good. Now we take our fourth panel, we're going to install that next. This is the one we put the front face on, and it's simply going to go down right there and fill those slots. And we're going to put 2 more BP screws into this. And last one in. Looks great. Let's see what that looks like. Wow, that's impressive. Very nice there. So I made a mistake and I forgot to install the K.I.T.T voice panel, and that actually goes right here in front of this panel. So I'm going to take this panel off. Okay. So simple fix, obviously. And it's simply going to slot down in there. Just like that. And then we'll put our panel back on. Just like this. That's good there. That looks great. Give you a view of all the panels. Very nice. And here's a close-up of the buttons that are on the steering wheel. Very finely detailed there and very nice. I'm impressed with it. Next, I assemble the steering wheel with these switches. Now these switches only go in one way. If you look here, there's a space here and there's an angle to it. Same thing on the switch panel. There's an angle to that space right there. So when we turn this over, slide that in, it only goes in one way. Okay. Do the same thing with the other one. That slots right in. Now we'll put the backing cover on, turn this over, just like that. And right now we just put 2 AP screws into this. We don't put screws in there yet. AP screws are tiny. Be careful you don't over tighten these, just until they're snug. That's good. And turn it over. That's how that looks there. It looks great. And that completes stage 4, where we fully assembled the dashboard, a little bit of the steering wheel. The rest of the parts we're going to put aside. We're going to assemble those a little bit later. So we did have 3 GM screws we did not use. So that's it. So we'll go ahead and head over to stage 5. And welcome back. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 5. So for stage 5, we received the parts for the scanner and the right frame rail. There you have it right there. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to finish building the steering wheel from the parts we received in stage 4. We're going to install the lights for the scanner. And then we're going to do a functional check of those lights. I like the fact that we get all this and we can check this out first. Give us a little motivation on this build. Okay, I'll be right back. Here's the parts pack for stage 5. And I'm super excited because we get the parts for the scanner. So let me take these out and I'll be right back. Here's the right-hand frame rail. And very nice there, made of metal. That's very cool there. Very detailed. This is actually going to support our engine. So very nice. I'm going to put that aside and we're going to look at the scanner parts next. Here's the parts for the scanner. We received the battery box with the switch. Very nice there. 4 AAA batteries go into this. And here's the scanner lights themselves, the LEDs. These are very tiny surface mounted LEDs that are put into this for the scanner. Very cool. I like it says film car LED 2.3 volt. Very nice. And we have the cover for that along with AP and BP screws. Let's get started. Before I assemble and test the scanner, we have to build the steering wheel. So the first thing we do with the steering wheel is we're going to go ahead and put in our little switch onto this. And they show it going like that. Okay, so that flat edge of that switch goes on top. Just like that. Then this part here mates up against that. Just like that. And remember the GM screws we received in the last stage? We're going to use those. And that's perfect there. That's all we do with that. And that's all we do with that. We'll put that aside. We're going to work on the scanner next. Alright, I brought over the nose from pack 1. And we're going to install the scanner onto it. It's simply going to go right on the front here. We're going to line up the LEDs. Just like that. And we're going to put 2 screws in the middle. These are AP screws that go in. So it's going to press everything in place. Kind of see what's happening there. Left it loose just a little bit so I can get the next one in. I had to slide it over just a little bit, and there it goes. Okay. And don't over tighten these. That should be good. That looks good there. Next we put this backing cover on. And the big cutout where the chip is, that's going to go just like that. And we're going to put 2 BP screws into this. And that's good. That's how that looks. Should be ready to test this out. I'm going to bring over My battery box, I already put 4 AAA batteries into it, and you can see that alternating. Put this over on the other side. We're going to plug this in. It only plugs in one way, and it's already on. That's very cool. Turn off some lights here. How's that? That is very nice. That's impressive. I believe it does give you the scanner sound too a little bit later when we have a speaker hooked up. That's impressive. Very nice. And use the switch here to turn it off. And it's off. And that's all I do for stage 5. Let's head on over and do stage 6. And welcome back. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 6. This time we received the parts for the subframe, which holds your engine in place actually. And we have some of the suspension components that go on the outside of the subframe. And another screwdriver. So we start installing some of the components for the brackets for the steering and for the suspension. Continuing on with some more of those brackets. Control arms get installed onto the subframe. Then we start adding some parts to the frame rail that we received in the previous issue. So let me get the parts and I'll be right back. Here's the parts for stage 6, which we got the subframe and suspension components there. Another screwdriver. Let me take these out and I'll be right back. And here's all the parts for the final stage of Pack 2. This is the subframe, and it is made of metal, and you can see it's designed to hold the engine in place along with the suspension. Very nice. It is made of metal. This is one of the control arms, and they are marked. This is the right hand control arm. There's an R right up there. Some of the other metal parts here for the suspension, they're all marked with an R also. These two are marked with an R. These two are marked with an L, and this part here is also marked with an L. DM, EM, HM, and IM screws. And then we received a new screwdriver, a little larger than the last one, and it is magnetized. Let's get started. Alright, we're going to install some of these brackets on the subframe, and I highly encourage that you lubricate your holes that the screws go into. It's just going to make it a lot easier for you. And like I said, I do use Vaseline. I know 3-in-1 oil works too, but to me it's just too messy. So we have 2 different sets of brackets here for each side. We have left side brackets and right side brackets, and they are marked. So these are the 2 left side brackets. Okay, so the left side brackets, they almost look the same, but they're not. If you look on the bottom side, one of them has an alignment pin there. Okay, so that goes specifically in a specific area, and this one goes in the other area. So we have 2 areas where these are going to mount to. We're going to mount right there, and one's going to mount right here. And you can see there is the alignment for that. One bracket with the alignment, big large alignment pin, is going to go on the bottom. So this one is just flat. We have an alignment pin that goes in just like that, and it is marked left. This is my left side. EM screws go into this, and that's good there. We'll do the same thing on the other side. That one is marked with an R. It just makes it so much easier. That's how that looks there. Next, we're going to go ahead and put our left side bracket in. Remember I told you it kind of lines up. There's an alignment pin and it lines up like that. Okay. So we're actually going to put screws in from the other side, and the screw is going to go in on this. So I'm going to lubricate it. And put that down just like that. And I am using a larger screwdriver because I need the handle, I need to be able to grip the handle. I'm going to either use a PH1 or a PH00 screwdriver, or a PH0 screwdriver, single O. And these are Wera, and you can find these on my Amazon store. I put a link in the description below. We'll use a HM screw for this. It's a little bit larger. Just like that. And that looks good there. Do the other side. Perfect. And that's how that looks. So we put in both brackets on both sides. That's great. Next we'll put in our control arm. And the control arm is also marked with an R. So in this case we're going to be putting it in on the right side. And that's how that should look when it's installed. Just like that. Okay. So in this case I am going to lubricate this control arm. I'm throwing all kinds of Vaseline on it on both sides for those screws. Okay, and we'll put it in there. It's kind of like grease. It's really going to help it out. Now, very large IM screws go into this. It may help to get them started first, and they just go through on that, so that's not where we're concerned about. So what I'm going to do is grease these other ones, because that's what needs to be greased. Okay, mainly on the end. I believe it screws in on the end here, but it's not going to hurt to throw the Vaseline in there. So I'm going to do it first, drive it through and screw it in very carefully and get it started. Okay, so that's good there. I'll back it out. Remember, these screws are cutting their own thread, so you definitely want to lubricate it up. And for me, the Vaseline works great. I'm going to do the other side also. Okay, get it lined up and screw it in. I'm not even using hardly any pressure. I'm letting the threads do the work. So that's perfect. Back it out. Okay. Now I can go ahead and put the arm on. Because we got to put one on each side. Okay. Kind of line that up a little bit. There we go. And then I'm just going to screw it in. See how easy that is? Perfect. And I'm not even going to tighten it down too much. Just a little bit. There we go. Go to the other side. Push it through. There we go. There we go. And then just let it thread in. And that's great. Okay, so that's installed, and I think that looks great. No harm, no foul. And like I said, you definitely want to do that. If you're not, you might have an accident. So that's how that looks so far with this stage. We're going to install a piece on the frame rail here, and I want to situate it like it is in the instructions, just like that. And it looks like, turn it over, and this will go just like that. Okay, and we're going to put 2 DM screws into this, so I'm going to lubricate those. Okay, so it goes on with that facing downwards. Turn it over and put 2 DMs into this. Perfect. That's how that looks there. Just like that. Okay. And that's all we do with stage 6. Fantastic to build this. I'm enjoying this. I can't wait to get pack 3 in the mail. So this is fantastic and I highly recommend it. Head over to D'Agostini Collectibles and subscribe to K.I.T.T today. It's a fantastic car and I'm really enjoying. What I'm really enjoying too is the research on this car, finding out more and more about this car. And there's lots of great YouTube channels out there about the Knight Rider. I'll be right back with the rest of the parts. So that completes pack 2. We completed everything in this build. We assembled the scanner up front and that works flawlessly. That looks fantastic. We also assembled the dash, one of the wheels and tires, the subframe, the frame rail, and the steering wheel. Fantastic there. Remember, I put a promo code and a direct link to FanHome, so head over there and check out this build for yourself. They also have giveaways, so you'll have to go there to see what specific giveaways you'll get when you sign up for this subscription. But I highly recommend it. This is fantastic. So I did put the direct link and the promo code down below. Please click on the direct link. That helps me out and that helps FanHome out. Lets them know that you watched my video. Thank you all again. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for all video upload notifications and give me a thumbs up. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.